On. Yay! All right. Aloha, guys. Welcome to my channel. This is Mermaid Nina here, along with a whole awesome cast of fellow channels. And we're going to be discussing Disneyland versus Disney World. Who did it better and why? We're going to talk about the rides, the queues, the whatever. We're going to get into some detailed awesomeness. So, Nick, why don't you take it away, Nick?
All right, what's up, everybody? It's Nick from Who Dat Travel. Now, we are here with a whole group of people that have been to both Disney World and Disneyland, and that's a big thing for all of us because, as Nina said, that we're going to go through and we're going to discuss all of those things that, who did this ride better. Now, for this week, we are going to take exact rides. So ride for ride, we're not going to talk about things like Hollywood Tower of Terror, and then they've got the Mission Breakout. So we're not going to do that this week. Stay tuned for that. We'll probably get into that. Actually, comment below if you want to see us do that. But yes, we've got our voting here of who did it better, Disney World or Disneyland. So we're going to go through real quick, and we're going to have the rest of the group introduce who they are. So, Sherry, since you're up top here, we're going to start with you.
Hi, I'm Sherry Elizabeth. My channel is Sherry Elizabeth, and I cover all things Disney. I have a lot of different travel things going on right now because Disney has been closed, so I'm doing some things about our trip to Jamaica. But I was born in California. I grew up going to Disneyland. I was a Disneyland pass holder for a number of years. I now live in Michigan and now go to Disney World quite frequently. I'm an annual pass holder. I'm a DVC owner. I'm a travel agent. So a little bit about me, but I eat, breathe, sleep Disney.
All right. Thank you so much. And Kelly, let's go with you next.
Ladies. Hi, everyone. My name is Kelly. My channel's name is Kelly's Kingdom. I'm from Australia, if you can't tell by my accent. But I grew up loving Disney and watching all the Disney movies. I didn't make it to a park until 2008, where I went to Walt Disney World. But I've been to Disney World and Disneyland every year since 2012. I just fell in love with it, and I go back whenever I can. And my channel, you'll see a lot of my travel vlogs, and I also do hauls and unboxings and some Disney style. So if you're interested in any of those things, come over and check it out.
Awesome.
Now, Kelly, real quick, are you still in Australia or are you in the States now?
I'm still in Australia, yes.
So it's in the morning for you, correct? Then?
Yeah, it's 10 a.m. right now, yeah.
Okay, well, I was there many moons ago, so, fantastic, and welcome for the future, I guess.
Yes, I'm from the future, yes.
And finally, Matt, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hey there, guys. My name is Matt from the Magical Adventurers. My friends and I run our channel, and we're a group of former Disney World cast members as well as Disney enthusiasts. We have unboxings, vlogs. We do a live show Saturday night. So if you're interested in talking all things Disney with us, be sure to hit that subscribe button.
Absolutely. And if everybody would, make sure that you are subscribed to all these great channels, especially Miss Nina is so close. We're talking three people away from a major YouTube goal. So if you guys can help her out and make sure that you are subscribed to her channel, and of course all of our channels, that would be greatly appreciated. So hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and without further ado, let's get into some icebreakers. So let's see. I believe that we have our guests did the icebreaker questions, correct? So
we're going to have them go first and see how it goes. But yeah,
there we are. So we'll do reverse order from where we introduced. Matt, what is your icebreaker question, sir?
All right. So mine is, what is everyone's favorite Disney theme park song?
Ooh. All right. Nina, go for it. No, you want me to? Fine, I will go for it then.
I know yours.
What's mine then?
How about I say yours and you guess mine?
Oh, this might be really difficult. All right. What's mine then?
I'm going to pretend Nick's is Grin Grinning Ghosts.
Now, I do really, really like that one. Is it my favorite one, though? Yeah, it is. All right.
What's mine?
Now, I would say it's Under the Sea, but just because of the mermaid, but I know better. Boy.
I'll give you a hint.
Soaring.
No.
No.
Something else that flies.
Something else that flies.
Dumbo?
Yes, Dumbo.
Aha! Sherry with
Got charades
win.
going on
All
here
right.
tonight.
That was my Dumbo impersonation.
Hey, you're from California. I thought that maybe it was Soaring Over California. Come on.
I do love Soaring Over California, and I miss it. Is that next week's show where we get to fight what Soaring Over California versus the other one?
You know, I honestly did want to put that one in. If actually we're gonna hold here for a celebration. Nina,
Why,
you
what?
got your 3. You are at 1K.
What? I am? Wait,
You are.
I want to see what?
Hey.
Wait.
For all of you that are watching that know, and it is a huge thing for our YouTubers to get to 1,000 subscribers, and she is there. So congratulations, Nina. Again, keep hitting that subscribe button, folks. It really does help out all of our channels. So congratulations, ma'am. So
thank you. I've been YouTubing for years, like 2015, back when you didn't have to have subscribers and all this funkiness. And then I stopped for a while to promote my business. And then I came back to all these rules and regulations. So thank you so much, all you amazing people. Thanks, guys. Everyone's just flooding the chat with congratulations and thank you. I couldn't have done it with all you guys who subscribe and watch and comment and all those good things. So keep it up, especially to all the other small channels out there, because we really, really do need your support, because YouTube really doesn't blast our content until we reach that milestone. So please subscribe to all. And again, thank you. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead, Nick. I think.
No, it absolutely was it was something that needed to be said. And again, congratulations to the bottom of all of our hearts. So
I wasn't even watching. I love it. Thank you.
As you know, I've been watching for you for a while. So all right. So Matt, that was a great question, but we also Nina, your favorite was Dumbo. So let's move on to Sherry. What's your favorite song?
I don't even know the name of it, but Happily Ever After, you know, the song Ready to Begin, whatever that song is. Happily Ever After. I think it might be the name of the song. Like that. My favorite song. And as soon as I start to hear it, I get teary-eyed. I'm a mess, but yeah.
Fair enough.
I feel it.
All right. Kelly, how about you?
I think mine is A Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow from Carousel of Progress.
Okay,
it's
yeah.
Just a fun song. It's so catchy, and I love the ride. So.
All right, I agree fully. Actually, the Sherman Brothers had just a slew of hits, and we lost Matt for a second. Hopefully,
we're gonna find him.
Oh, there he is.
There we go. I finally got everything to work. So
Yay!
there's pixie dust in the air.
Look at I can try out options. Is that one better?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Yay.
So I'm going to move over here because I got powered by StreamYard right in my head though. So there we go.
All right.
Okay, so Matt, what was your favorite song from a ride then?
I always feel like I have a tie for first. I'm a little biased with the Tiki Room because I worked in the Tiki Room. So I'm going to go with that because it has a special place in my heart. But Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow is also right there. I feel like that's Walt Disney's song. So those two are both kind of my favorite.
I definitely can agree. You have my little man's favorite one there. My little man is 1 year old, and every time he hears it, he just kind of starts dancing. So
yeah, and it's a good song when when you're a cast member and you hear it multiple times a day and you don't get tired of it. So
multiple is probably an understatement.
Yeah. Yes.
True.
So all right. So Kelly, what was your icebreaker question?
Mine is, what do you think is the most underrated and the most overrated attraction at Walt Disney World?
Ooh.
A
Wow.
thinker. A thinker.
Bit of a thinker, yeah.
Overrated and underrated ride.
Underrated is People Mover.
You know, yeah. You're taking my stuff again, Nina.
Which I like because that means there's more room for me to go on it because everyone always walks right past it.
Oh yeah.
The favorite nap in the park.
My underrated is going to
Fair
be Tiki Room, actually.
Thank you.
Okay.
I think that far too few people go, and I'm guilty. I'm absolutely guilty of this myself. I didn't go on Tiki Room until I had my little man, and then I sat there and I'm like, why didn't I ever do this?
What's wrong with you?
Do we really want it? We don't have time in a show to go through that list. I have way too many things.
Put it in. Different day.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll put that down for another show.
How could you not go to Tiki Room?
Yeah, I'm really glad I did now. And well, actually, we may be talking about Tiki Room here in a little bit, so we'll save some of those comments. Well, let's actually, since we've done, Nina and I have done our underrated. Let's go through the underrateds.
Yeah, what's your guys' underrated? Just shout it out.
I feel like the Country Bears.
I was gonna say the Country Bears.
Yeah,
I
feel
can see that.
it doesn't get enough love.
It doesn't at all, and I feel like so many people walk right past it, and I feel like it's one of the rides that's probably on the chopping block. And to me, it's so classic. Yeah,
and it's so funny too. Like if you really listen to the lyrics,
I
you
agree.
will laugh.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Kelly, how about you?
Mine was Dinosaur.
Dinosaur is underrated.
Yeah.
It's just a fun ride. If you want something in between, like a tame family ride and a thrill ride, I think it's just perfect. And people just seem to forget about it. So fine.
All righty.
How about Matt? Did Matt already say?
Yeah, the Country
That
Bears.
was Country Bear.
Country Bear. Well, then what was Sherry's?
Country
Bear.
Bears.
Oh, I was too busy putting everyone's thing up. I missed it. You both said Country Bear. Okay, so overrated now?
The most overrated ride in the park. Ooh.
Mission Space.
I have to agree.
Now I gotta figure out another one. Thanks, Nina.
What, do you like Mission Space, Nick?
No. After one ride, I'm good on it. So yeah, that's definitely an overrated to me.
Splash Mountain.
Boy.
Matt Kelly, shout yours out while Nick is thinking.
Mine
I
was
actually
a
have another one.
Yeah, go Sherry.
And I know you guys are gonna hate me. Spaceship Earth. Like,
Oh yeah,
I
yep.
know,
Nope,
I know.
nope, gonna hate you on that one.
Like,
Now I'm
I don't
gonna
get it.
throw
I don't
out
get
one that is gonna be an issue probably. The teacups.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah, it's hit or miss.
Yeah, it's overrated to me. It just,
Yeah.
it's fun, but my wife has some kind of issues on it because she gets motion sickness, so there's no.
I can't go on it either. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there's we've got a bunch of people saying soaring.
I think soaring around the world is a little.
Yeah, I think
like it's not bad though.
No, it's not.
It's not.
Depends
But
on where you sit.
exactly.
I will look at that as an excellent point there too.
Exactly.
So yeah, that is an excellent point.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. Let's do our last icebreaker, and then we'll get into the main event here. Sherry, what is your icebreaker, ma'am?
Favorite character meal.
Oh.
Ooh.
I don't mind.
I know yours.
You know-
I know
I know
that.
mine too.
If you know it, shout it out, ma'am.
Definitely
I'm
Trattoria Al Forno.
Crystal Palace.
I wrote it one time.
Oh, it's not actually.
All right.
No?
Kelly,
No.
how about you?
That's probably my second. My favorite is Tusker House, the Animal Kingdom.
It's a good
Okay.
one.
That's a good one.
I love it. I love the food. You've got your traditional breakfast food. You also have African-inspired food. The Jungle Juice is my favorite. You can meet all the fab characters in their safari gear. It's just my favorite. We try to do it every trip. So.
Wow. We do too. We love that one.
Yeah.
All right, Matt, how about you?
Trattoria al Forno at the boardwalk for breakfast with Rapunzel and Flynn. The character interaction's amazing, and the food is also fantastic. Can't go wrong.
That is mine as well. So me and Matt.
All right. All right. And Sherry, how about yours?
Storybook dining at Artist Point.
Oh, I haven't done that one yet.
Characters are great. The food's great. Yeah.
Now, I'm going to go with a little bit of an interesting one here, just because of it's one of the ones that is open currently, but the Garden Grill.
I do love the Garden Grill.
The way that it's set up right now, that the inside ring is closed for the interaction, and the outside is where you eat. Plus, you've got the rotation into Living with the Land. I think that's a really fun one. And the character interaction has, with everything going on right now, still remained. Now, of course, you can't hug, but they are coming around several times, and yeah, it's sad. But then again, I also love Chip and Dale and Mickey, so yes. Yes, someone will be there. She's got a sign of when she's going to be there because her kids don't know.
Ooh.
So we have to keep it quiet for her. So, excellent. All right. So we've got a ton of interaction from our audience or our viewers here. Keep it coming. If you guys have something to say, please put it in the comments. But we're going to get into the main event now. We're going to talk about who does it best. And we're going to start with Frontier and Adventureland. And we're actually going to start with the Jungle Cruise. Now, the Jungle Cruise was really already, you can't even, I see how this is going to be here. So, we all have our opinions, obviously. So, this was an opening day attraction at both. This was Walt's idea to have live animals, which we kind of got an iteration of that many, many years later. But let's chat about this. So, what do you guys, what do you guys see that's different? What do you guys enjoy at one park versus the other?
What do you mean they're not live? I thought they were live animals.
Is it live or is it Memorex?
Isn't the python and the monkeys and the gorillas real?
It was somebody's boa for the party. Yeah.
Right.
Gotta love the dad jokes on both of them. And that's the thing is each individual ride will be different just because of the skipper you get. So if you get a skipper that's really into it, hey, you're going to have a fantastic time. If you got a skipper that's going through just their kind of going through the motions, your experience may not be as good. Now, for me, I love the Jingle Cruise. Those of you who are not familiar with the Jingle Cruise, it is their overlay at Christmas time. Yes, Disney Time podcast. Disneyland does not have the cave. So for those of you who don't know, if you go into Disney World, about halfway through, you actually go through a temple. It's actually the
Shirley's Temple.
It is not Shirley's Temple.
Shirley's Temple.
It could, don't think so. It is the Cambodian temple.
Right.
That's not what the skipper told me.
Well, the skipper had one too many Shirley temples. The dad jokes will be here all the time. About Jungle Cruise, folks. Come on. And really, that's what they all are. It's the Jungle Cruise is dad jokes. I mean, the puns are just, it's punny. It's great. Mm-hmm. But what gives that tipping point? Is it the Cambodian temple? Because the order is actually different. So Disneyland's is actually almost twice as. Oh, I'm sorry. That was another one of them. I skipped up here. The elephant pool actually in Disney World is after you pass Schweitzer Falls. So their orders are different.
Yeah.
With the elephant pool, or the Indian elephant pool, is actually the second scene within Disneyland. So do you guys think that those changes make anything to the ride, or is
No, but
that?
I feel like the Disney World is longer, isn't it? I feel like the ride is longer, or no? It feels like it is.
I think it is because of the temple.
Yeah, they're a little. It's just a little bit longer. I don't actually have the time on both of them, but I do believe that Disney World's is just slightly longer.
I just love the addition to the. Sorry.
Go ahead, Kelly. What?
I just love the addition of the temple at Disney World. I think it just gives it a little something different in the ride, a little something extra, a little creepy element. I love the tiger in there. I think that makes a big difference.
Which, to me, I like the placement of the Bengal tiger too, because Disneyland does have the Bengal tiger, but it's in, I think it's like the first scene. It's really, really close. And actually, for Disneyland, they've actually had 2 additions to it. So the version that we've got now is not the original version. Obviously, everything kind of evolves. In '62, they added the Indian elephant pool and the Cambodian ruins. In '64, they added the trapped safari scene where the rhino was doing this at the rear end. And then in '76, the gorilla camp and the Bengal tiger and the python in the tree were added. So they have added more, but not since '76 has really anything been added in Disneyland. So
They didn't do anything to it when they added or adjusted Indiana Jones?
not that I saw. Now there could have been, and I may have missed that information, but I don't believe so.
Because they had to change that whole area when they added Indiana Jones. There used to be little squirt guns that you could put money in, and you would shoot these little boats, or I think you were motorized boats or something. I remember I had 5, and they got rid of those. And I thought that was to help with Jungle Cruise. That's why I like Disneyland, is because you go past Indiana Jones while you're on the cruise.
No, that is an amazing queue that they have made for Indiana Jones, and what's over a mile long, if I remember right. So yeah, they did a lot of work, but that's been in for, I think, 25 years? This year was the anniversary of it, I believe.
Oh, really? I was there on.
I remember when that opened.
Yeah, I was there on opening day.
I was not.
They had these little cards. So because the queue line was so long, they had these identification cards, and you had to match the symbols so that you could read the hidden phrase or whatever that was on the cards. And
they actually just started printing those again.
I forgot about that.
Because there were only a couple people that had those ciphers.
I have the original ones.
Yeah, that they just started doing it again. So for those of you who have not been there, and we're getting a little off the topic, really, I'll get off topic. Amazing. But for those of you who haven't been there, if you go through the line at Indiana Jones, there are hieroglyphics on the wall. Well, certain cast members had ciphers for these that you could figure out what the hieroglyphics said. Now, they went out of print, I believe, around '99, but certain cast members still had them. Within the last year, they have now printed more of them, and you can now find out what all of those hieroglyphics mean as you're walking through the queue.
I was there in August. I didn't get a card.
You have to ask the secrets that you have to know. So, okay, let's go back to Jungle Cruise, though. We get a little bit off topic there. But, all right, so let's say, who did it better overall? So we all kind of voted already. Who did it better?
Wah, wah. Sorry, Nina.
Who voted, Nina? You're saying Disney World did it better. All right.
I just want to say one thing about the Jungle Cruise at Disneyland that I don't like is that because of just the size of Disneyland, you're kind of walking through, and then as people are trying to get in the line for the Jungle Cruise, it's all bottlenecked right there, and then there's strollers, and then there's a planter, and it's just a whole lot going on just to get in the ride right there, which I don't really like that bothers me from the beginning.
Well, because you're going in and you're exiting all at the same spot, and it gets very crazy. And then you've got the fast pass lane versus the entrance versus the exit.
It's just like,
I'm with you.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
I agree, definitely. All right, let's move on to another classic ride. Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, no doubt.
There is some hardcore thoughts on this one.
I love the queue.
No doubt.
And I think we're all probably in agreement here. Now, Disneyland versus Disney World. The queue. Let's chat about the queue right off the bat. Now you actually, my thing about the queue, and let's talk about the queue in the beginning portion of the ride. You're sitting in the dark. You're sitting in the bayou. You've got the blue bayou right there that you can eat at. It's fantastic. You've got all of this like ambiance, and you start the story in the queue, whereas now the queue in Disney World, you've got a little bit of the story, but I don't know about you guys, but Disney World seems rushed.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's, well, and here's the secret, which isn't really a secret. It is rushed. Now, for those of you who don't know, this was not an opening day attraction at Disney World. And there was a gigantic outcry from all of the people. Where was the Pirates of the Caribbean?
We want the redhead.
What's that?
We want the redhead. We want the redhead.
So it was a gigantic hit over at Disneyland. And yes, Disney Time Podcast, Disneyland has 2 drops. And why did they have those drops? Anyone? Bueller?
I think it's where the thread is located, right? Because you got to go farther down and farther underneath.
You have to get, they were originally there to get under the railroad tracks.
Yeah.
So those drops were a necessity. And everything that Disneyland has done is a necessity because they are landlocked. I mean, they're, especially now, they can't get any more land unless they're paying huge amounts of money and bowling over a couple hotels. So
many hotels.
Yeah. So Pirates of the Caribbean in Disneyland is actually twice as long.
Wow.
You have additional scenes. You've got the bayou. You've got it's got the 2 drops, as we all has already said. You've got the grotto that the first initial scenes are actually set up more, and then after you have additional scenes before you get to the or actually, I'm sorry, that's just after you get to the dog and the cells. There's more scenes that you don't have with Disney World. Disney World, you come to the end scene of the dog, and then you get Captain Jack, and you're done. So there's no
pirate, or not the pirate, the parrot at the end. You know how Disneyland ends with the talking parrot?
Yep. You got the parrot coming out at the end. So you get so much more with Disneyland. So really, I think this one might be a shorter one here. But yeah, I don't really think there's much of a contest. I also like the last time I went on it, they didn't have it running, but the fog effect with not Barbosa.
Why wouldn't they have fog running?
They had a fog, and then there was a projection on the fog.
Right.
I can't remember the character's name right now.
It was Blackbeard.
He was the
Turtles and Davy Jones.
Yes, of Davy Jones. And the last time I was there, just before shutdown, they didn't have that effect. Now I don't know if the effect was down or if they've removed that effect. Does any one of our viewers know?
I think it's gone completely. I think they took it out when they put the new picture in with they put the skeleton before the drop, and that picture's there. So I think that was the consequence of that was taking out the fog.
See, I really enjoyed the fog. I thought that was a great effect, and I thought that was a great thing that Disneyland had that Disney World didn't. So I'm sad that's gone. So
Dead men tell no tales.
yes, dead men tell no tales.
Years ago, Disneyland was trying to redo a few of their scenes, and they had guests go up the stairs and hand make jewels that would then be on the ride. So a lot of the jewels coming out of some of the treasure chests and whatnot, I actually helped make. And I would sit there and I would paint them and add gold leaf. And I was like, my family was on rides and I'm over here like making jewelry because I'm a loser. And I thought it was amazing that something I actually made was going to be on the ride for all of eternity. But it was something really cool that they did to get guests involved.
Now, one of the cool things that I did also hear is one of the treasure chests, or a couple of the treasure chests, at the very end that the animatronic is sitting near is actually from the movies.
Oh, right.
Yep. So they actually have screen-used treasure chests that they have now incorporated into the ride.
See, and that's what I thought too. I thought they got rid of the mist in general and many of the rides for this reason, but Nick was saying it was off before COVID.
Yep, that was actually off before we were at Disneyland 2 weeks before, actually 3 weeks before the shutdown, and that was already off.
They might have turned it off just thinking COVID could affect them. That could have been like a pre-COVID thought.
Could be. So, all right. So I think we've all agreed that,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do both rides
100%.
have the wood burning scene?
yes.
That's my favorite. The smell of the wood burning and then staring at it, watching how the Imagineers possibly made that look like it was, like burning. And I don't know.
Now, one of them that I love, and I never noticed this, but the guy that's up in the burning area, right before, as you're going through the tunnel, he's drinking a jug of what I'm assuming is probably rum.
Triple X.
It's Triple X. But have you ever noticed that the jug is on fire?
Ooh.
The jug itself has a flame coming out the top of it.
Let
I
me
don't
check
know
my
how many
ride.
times I had ridden that ride, and it was about a year ago that I noticed. I'm like, wait, that his rum's burning. So yeah, it's a cute little another just little detail that they've thrown in there. Now I don't know if it's the same in Disneyland, but I know at Disney World his jug is on fire, and you can actually notice it really, really a lot if you look up to the ceiling, because the light or the fire is shining past it up to the ceiling. So it's a really cool thing to kind of take a look at. So, all right, so let's move on from Pirates. We were, I think, unanimous on that one. Now, here we are. It's the Tiki Room. So, Tiki Room. We have the pre-shows are different in each park.
Yeah.
So you do have a little bit of difference there. Now, Disneyland, neither of them is the same show that it was in 1963 when it opened. Now, for Disneyland, it was opened in 63, and these were the first animatronics that were available. These are the first things that sang along to the music. So they didn't do people, they did the Tiki Birds first. So this was a big thing. Now, it wasn't opening day in 71 to Disney World. So that was, they started with that. But at that point, it was actually called Tropical Serenade. It was not the Tiki Room. In 2011, they cut 6 minutes off of the show. But that was after the redo from 1998 to 2011, which was under new management. And I don't know if you had seen that one that had Iago and
Gilbert Godfrey.
Yeah.
And Zazu.
Yeah.
And Zazu, yeah. And they were the new management, and somehow there was a fire.
Fire.
Not doing the conspiracy theory. My tinfoil hat is downstairs. I can't go get it right now. But there has been some rumors that there was a fire that happened to damage a couple of the Iago and Zazu, and it just couldn't be repaired. So they went back to They went back to the original and named it the Tiki Room again. So the Enchanted Tiki Room.
Yes.
So the Enchanted Tiki Room in Disney World is still a couple minutes shorter now than Disneyland's. But who does it better?
I think this is a tough one because, I mean, I have a little bit of a personal bias because I did work at Disney World, and I prefer the pre-show at Disney World. I think it's I like Clyde and Claude, who basically tell you how they found the Tiki Room, and it's their journey to the Jungle Cruise, which I think is pretty cool. That being said, the one at Land, like a lot of Disneyland, is you feel Walt's presence in that park because he was actually there and created it. But that being said, I'm personally going to go with World. Again, more of a personal bias probably at the end of the day, but I do like the pre-show a little better over there.
The Dole Whip in the line is like, as a child, that is like, there's a lot of memories, but like being little and that time in the afternoon, 2:00, it's hot, you're tired, you need a break, you go and you get your Dole Whip like inside the queue right there. And you sit there and you eat your Dole Whip and you wait for the ride and you finish it inside of the Tiki Room. Like, if there's one like quintessential Disney memory for me, that's it.
Right.
And I know you can get your Dole Whip at the Alaho. I know you don't. I know it's not the same.
No, there is something to be said about being able to get it in line. I
always do that too.
They have like the in-show in there. So they only have a few seating spots, which is unfortunate because half the time people are standing. But then the Tiki start going and talking to you, and you're like immersed in it because they're here and they're there, and you're like, where's that voice coming from? World is nice, but Land seems more, I don't know, immersive. Is that the right word? But again, childhood memories. I totally agree with you. And then when they expanded the Dole Whip and did the Tropical Hideaway, which has a few more spots, that's amazing too, because now you can get some crazy Dole Whips when you're done with the Tiki Room.
Yes.
But the last few times I was there, one of the original cast members, I think his name is Maynard. He's an older guy. And if you've had him be the cast member at your Tiki Room show and the way he's talking to Jose, it just, and he's telling these jokes and he's doing this stuff. It's just amazing. So.
Yeah, Maynard, actually, I have him down in my notes. He is part of, as Matt was, he is kind of the lore of Disneyland. That's his main spot that he has been a cast member at, and he has been perfecting his pre-show for many, many years. So, and as Matt, you had said that you enjoyed your time there. Maynard definitely seems to enjoy his time and has his own shtick that goes.
Fan base.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. He absolutely does. So, and you know what? As a non-cast member, but people who are slightly jealous of cast members, I love seeing that love. And it comes out and it makes everybody's day more magical. For those of you who haven't watched Nina and my show before, we do nothing but praise cast members because they really make or break your trip. And there's so many people that say, the magic is gone from Disney right now. And I absolutely disagree. And I have been there. I was there for 8 days for the opening week. No, it's not. Because you know what? I got a little misty. Walking in with all of the cast members that lined Main Street on opening day, waving and saying thank you. And it wasn't a fake thank you. Y'all know what a fake thank you sounds like. This was from the bottom of their hearts that they were glad you were there and that you were, being part of history, because there had never been a shutdown that long. So
Right.
the cast members make your trip, and for that,
Yeah.
I gotta say Disneyland on that one. Plus the Dole Whip, Nina. My answer is always Dole Whip. You know that. So
Always Dole Whip. Don't even
always
ask
Dole
him.
Whip.
It's just Dole Whip. Dole Whip or Haunted Mansion. That's the answer.
Yeah, pretty much. And Kelly, your 2 cents on this one?
Yeah, definitely land for me as well. Exactly the same as what Sherry said. I love sitting outside the one at Disneyland with my Dole Whip, taking it in. I just love the whole outside part of that better, and that's why I choose land.
Fair enough. All right. So I think, Matt, I understand and trust me, it was a hard decision for me to choose land. There was just those couple little things, because I will always remember my first trip into the Tiki Room at all, because it was the first time I took my little man at 6 months old. And I will never forget the look on his face of seeing all these moving birds and him just, moving around at 6 months old. So that one, it was a real tough one for me. So, but moving on, now this is kind of controversial one that we might talk about a little bit more, is Splash Mountain.
Oh dear.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. All right. We've got the votes up already. Now Disneyland, it was opened in '89.
I remember that too. I was there.
You were there?
In Disney World, it was open in '92. Now, it was in Critter Country in Disneyland, and it was basically a ride built to get more people in Bear Country, and to reuse America Sings. So there were a ton of audio animatronics that were reused for this, because they were all sitting in a warehouse somewhere, basically, that they needed to use, because let's be honest, those aren't cheap. So if we can reuse them, hey, let's do it. So you had all that, but then you also have in Disney World. So anybody know how many drops Disneyland has?
3?
You are correct. 3. There are 3 drops. How many? How about Disney World?
Is there
Is
5?
there 4 or 5? 5.
I heard somebody say it. There are 5 drops.
That's how many times I've been on it.
All right. So, and there are some difference in the fluke ride as well, the logs, because you've got at Disney World, it's a 2-seater. So you've got 3 rows of 2, where at Disneyland, it's a 1-seater.
Right.
So
That's
it's
right.
basically swapped another ride, which we will talk about a little later. So you've got a reduced capacity at Disneyland. You also have anybody ever noticed the difference in the music? It's the same zippity doo dah, but you have a difference in the music.
What?
In Disney World, you've got more of a bluegrass. It's a country bluegrass sound. Whereas Disneyland, it's a big band jazz feeling, because you are in New Orleans Square.
Right.
So they have it's the same song, but just the tune behind it is just slightly different. Now, to me, I kind of like the big band jazz sound, but it wouldn't really fit as well in Disney World.
Mm-hmm.
So that brings us onto a little controversial subject of, should we not even jump into this one?
No, jump into it. I mean, I've always felt Splash Mountain doesn't quite fit in the Disney World area as it is anyway. Disneyland is in Critter Country.
Yeah,
It makes
exactly.
sense. You've got Pooh Bear, or used to be Country Bear Jamboree. You've got the canoes. You've got the stuff. It kind of makes sense. As the Splash Mountain in a world, it's like pirates, a place to buy a pretzel, and then Splash Mountain next to Big Thunder.
I mean, I get it. Next to Big Thunder, it makes sense. But if we retheme it to New Orleans,
I don't think that fits at Disney World. Like it's going to be kind of like random.
Yeah, that's
it already
the way that that's the way I feel as well.
Yeah.
And moving all political parts aside of this, and just actually talking about, will New Orleans fit with, Frontierland?
No.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Now, Disney has been known to work some amazing magic, and
Disney's been known to cancel things too.
Yes,
right.
Disney has been known to cancel that, like the upgrade of Spaceship Earth. That might have got canceled. Maybe.
I can sort of see if they make Pirates, which isn't really, like in Disneyland, Pirates has got the New Orleans feel. You've got the, the restaurant and whatnot. If they make Pirates a little bit more New Orleans-like land, it could mesh better with Splash if they make Tiana. But then you've got Big Thunder right there.
But then you also have like Pecos Bills and like Country Bear and all that other stuff right there. And then you get on the what are they called? The little raft thing to go over to
Tom Sawyer.
God, it's been so I feel like it's been so long since I've been there. I'm forgetting. Like that's not all gonna fit together. You know what I mean? Like
there's the map.
I know. I should have looked at the map.
World has always felt a little jumbled to me in that area anyway. It's like Liberty Square and you're right, Critter Country or a Country Bear Jamboree's right there, and you've got the Pecos Bill, and then what's the other one? It's that other restaurant that's not always open all the time.
Oh,
it ends with the T.
Yeah, there you go.
And then Splash Mountain, Big Thunder, which Big Thunder makes sense because you've got the train gets off right there.
Yeah.
And it's a perfect spot for Jesse and Woody and people to meet. But I've never really understood the connection right there anyway. So that's just me. I think it's just because it's perfectly placed in Disneyland. But of course, Disneyland is right next to Haunted Mansion, which is also kind of like, unless it's a New Orleans Haunted Mansion.
Which that's the next show.
I'm sure. He's saving that one.
We'll get there.
I'm also kind of sad about it being rethemed because I was a big fan of the America Sings when, and so I can remember that closing and then it going to Splash Mountain. And that was really exciting because the birds, I don't know why, but those bird things, I was so to see that go away is going to be a little,
Yeah. And that's, to me, you also have, there's a little bit difference in the length of the ride as well. Mm-hmm. So you've got Splash Mountain at Disneyland is up just over 9 minutes. You have 10 minutes and about 40 seconds.
Wow.
So you got another minute and a half over.
Plus more drops.
You got the more drops. You got all the rest. So for me, I've got to say that there's probably a more cohesive story as well, the way that Disney World has put it together. And this, I think, is absolutely an example of Disney getting it right the second time. So my vote is going to have to be for Disney World. So
I agree.
We got Disney World. Kelly, how about you?
I think I'm going to go land.
You're going to go land? All right. There's nothing wrong with an original. And, Nina's...
I don't know. I'm partial. I don't know. Just tattoo it on my forehead.
All right. Disneyland. All right. There's nothing wrong with an original. And that's, there is something to be said about it. So, and you know what? I can't complain about someone wanting to go through and reusing and and repurposing it, and Disney is known for doing that. You actually have, if I remember right, it's in Star Wars. They have taken one of the goose from Disney or from Splash Mountain. They actually moved it into the Star Wars ride, and if you look, it still has web feet. It's one of the little robots in. I'm
You're
trying
talking
to.
about Star Tours?
Star Tours, yes.
I'm like,
Yep.
which Star Wars? We got
Yeah, Star Tours. I'm sorry. They actually have one of the geese that are from the ride of Splash Mountain, and Disney Time Podcast is saying, "Yep, it's the Star Tours." So they actually grabbed one of the geese and put it in there.
I have not seen that.
Yes, it's a cool little thing to look at the feet of the robot, and you can see they're still webbed. It's a fantastic little Easter egg. So,
do you know about the moose from Critter Country or from Country Bear Jamboree? Country Bear Jamboree.
Go on.
Inside Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, all three of them I think are in there.
I believe it is all three of them.
Okay. Yep.
It's kind of dark, but you actually have to turn around.
And the three of them are there. They're not the animatronics though. I think they were just the static heads.
Yeah. The bust things or whatever they are.
Yep.
I mean, if we go with Tiana and we go with like when they're in the bayou and then all the animals are about, with Louie and everything, they probably could reuse some of those animatronics in a river country bayou. I'm just not sure if they do Tiana as a princess or if they have her as a frog.
It's got to be an interesting thing, and let's see if it happens. What I can say is that the merchandise for Splash Mountain currently is definitely a hot commodity.
Yeah, for sure.
I've got lots of people requesting it from me.
It may or may not be back in stock because they sold out. When was that again? All right, so let's move on. Just one stop down at Disney. I didn't even talk about which one it is yet. Man, no respect.
It's Haunted Mansion.
It is not.
What?
No.
Fine.
We got one. We got one more in this land area, which is if we move just one spot down at Disney World, it's Big Thunder Mountain.
Oh.
So who does it better? Both of them have 3 lift hills. Both of them reach a top speed of about 35 miles an hour. They were set up in September of '79 for Big Thunder at Disneyland, and November, just about a year later, in '80 for Disney World. So, but who doesn't
have the updates?
What's that?
Doesn't Land have the updates?
Land does have the updates.
I think that's what makes it slightly better than World. Slightly. They're both pretty much the same in my book, but I think that last finale scene, if they had that at Disney World, that would be fantastic.
And that's actually one of my things as well is, and actually to answer that question with the Star Tour at Disney World, I think it is. I have to actually, I'd have to look at my pictures because I actually did take a picture of that animatronic, but I think it's at Disney World.
It's got to be World, otherwise I would have seen it.
So, all right, going back to Big Thunder.
Yeah.
In 2013, January 7th of 2013, it was closed for over a year until March 17th of 2014 for a major redo at Disneyland. So they actually got new cars. They replaced about 2/3 of the track. And this is a huge one for me. They did projection mapping for lighting and dynamite blasts in the 3rd hill. So you have this, and if you've watched a previous one of our shows, we talked about this a little bit, but in that 3rd hill, you now have this buildup of, oh boy, things are blowing up around me. And it's all of the dynamite that's going to explode as you're leaving this hill into the finale of the ride. Whereas in 2011, due to a issue with Disneyland Paris, they had a falling rock effect that it looked like the ceiling was coming down. In Disneyland Paris, I believe someone might have got hit by one of those.
I remember this.
Yeah.
And all of them. So none of them were going to have that effect anymore. But because of the redo with Disneyland, they now have this projection mapping. And if you've been on it, it's fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
So it really gives you another part of that story that Disney is so great at. Whereas at Disney World, you just kind of, all right, going up a hill. Oh, the track is, oh, look, the track is, that's it. Yeah. So, so with that, gotta have to go with Disneyland.
Plus my favorite right next door.
So,
but I
we're
want to
moving
say
lands
something else
now.
about Disneyland that I appreciate and I love is at the end of it, you go through like, I don't know if it's the dinosaur or whatever it is, the bones, you know, and then there's all those like little buildings. And to me, there's like a finish to the ride. And like, I feel like the story's kind of ending. Whereas at Disney World, you kind of, you know,
which is interesting because the queue and the area is actually 25% larger at Disney World because of the theming in the queue. So that is interesting that they didn't really include that.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to another. Let's move lands, not over to tomorrow. Really?
Tomorrowland?
Let's move to Tomorrowland. So we have actually quite a few here. First, we're going to start with the Astro Orbiter.
Oh.
Yes.
I don't like them in either park, but
I can agree there, actually.
My favorite.
But for those of you who, there's a blank on Mermaid Nina there. So for Disneyland, for those of you who don't know, it was originally, the original one was just on top of the People Mover, just as it is at Disney World. But in 1998, that was moved because the new one that they had made was too heavy to put on the same spot. So they moved it right out in front of the Tomorrowland.
Which is annoying.
I was going to say, for those of you who have been there and have experienced it, it's
like a bottleneck.
It's like the genie in the lamp. Itty bitty living space.
Yeah.
It just doesn't have enough room there. It just is. It looks crowded. It creates a huge bottleneck, and it's a ride that spins around real quick.
Just go ride Dumbo.
Yeah, exactly. You can ride Dumbo, and I don't. To me, I rode. I did a challenge with my family if we could do every ride at Magic Kingdom during the reopening with using Rider Swap because we have a little man. So little man could actually go on the Astro Orbiter, which kind of blew my mind. But that one just throws you against the side.
Yeah.
I mean, I just felt like this the whole time, and I'm like holding on to little man going, oh God, please don't fall out. Please don't fall out.
Dumbo.
Well, exactly. Dumbo, you're 3 stories up in Disney World. So, which one of my issues with Disney World is the elevator.
Yeah.
It's a huge bottleneck.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but with that being said, actually, let me go through a little bit more history here. Disney World was originally named Star Jets.
Yeah.
So that was the original there, and Rocket Jets were actually the name of the original Astro Orbiter in Disneyland.
Wow.
So they've had some adjustments. Disney World has been in place since 1974 and has not moved. So, but with that being said, I'm actually going to have to go with Disney World on this one.
If I'm
going World. Yeah.
If you have to pick one.
Yeah. Just because of the view.
I love the view. If you can catch it on fireworks, I've heard
yeah. It's great. Yeah.
But we actually caught it right before a storm was rolling in. So there.
That makes it a thrill ride.
But yeah, they're added a little bit to that. So, yeah, there's my opinion on that, and everybody else, well, besides Nina, seems to agree because Nina just doesn't want any of them. So, alrighty, so let's move on to a little bit of space. Not the one you're thinking, Buzz Lightyear.
Yay!
So you got two different rides there, and there's a major difference, and I'm sure everybody knows it right off the bat.
It's the gun.
The guns, you got it. So in Disneyland, for those of you who don't know, the gun is actually moved around. And really, this is because Disneyland came 7 years later. It came in 2005, whereas Magic Kingdoms came in 98.
Oh, wow.
So they actually had a lot more time. And you can see that in a lot of different things. The Buzz animatronic out front. Disneyland's way smoother.
Yeah.
And Disney World's not nearly as smooth. But that's kind of what happens. And we saw that a little bit with Splash Mountain. Your first may not always be the best. The second one, they sometimes correct. So Disney Time Podcast says that the Disney World was a prototype. And absolutely, I think it was their first go at it. So,
this one.
So Disneyland is called Buzz Lightyear's Astro Blaster, for those of you who don't know, and Magic Kingdoms is Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin. So, and they even did the targets are different, actually, as well. They light up at Disneyland. And bonus tip, for those of you who want to be the Space Ranger, get the top ones, the lighted targets are worth more. So when you see them lit up at Disneyland, hit them, get them. So
giving away my secrets.
I thought you just fired at everything and didn't care.
I just shoot for the stars and beat my family every time. They hate me.
So that's those are the big things there, but also the ending. Any of you guys remember what the endings are different?
No, I do not.
Disneyland.
Buzz defeats Zurg at the end of the Disneyland one.
Ellie, you got it.
Yeah.
That is exactly it. You actually have Buzz Lightyear sitting there defeating Zurg with you, whereas Disney World's you just kind of end. So overall, I'm gonna have to go with Disneyland on that one. That is,
I don't know.
I agree. Despite the fact that I'm an accomplished galactic hero at Disney World, I will go with Disneyland.
I'm with you there because I was a galactic hero at Disney World as well. I've not gotten it at Disneyland though. So, but you probably know where the high point ones are.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yes.
Yes. I'm not telling because that's the way I be. Yeah. No. Nope. Not happening. Not happening. Oh, and I'm jealous about it. I'm jealous. All right. So this one I think is going to be fairly short. The karting attractions. So in other words, Disneyland with Autotopia and Magic Kingdom with the Tomorrowland Speedway.
My least favorite attraction at the Magic Kingdom and probably at Disney World. So.
I agree. I play a game at Disney World every time that I do it. And I don't ride that often because it's terrible.
Yeah.
I love
play
that
a game
ride.
of how few times I can hit that center line that's keeping you in line. I think 8 is my fewest. Which, it sounds like I'm a horrible driver, but there's just no steering involved there.
No.
Now I do like Disney World's version again with the holiday overlay. I think last year they did a fantastic job, and I would definitely do it on that. But other than that, I'm not sure if I'll do it again. Now, Autotopia was an opening day attraction, and it was to show the futuristic roadways. They actually redid the track layout in 2000, and there are actually 2 different courses at Disneyland. So at Disney World, you have one course, and it's based off of a speedway, basically. So that's why you see the... I'm surprised they're not a sponsor. So, and honestly, I am surprised. This is Tomorrowland we're talking about. I am surprised they have not upgraded them. They're still gas powered at both. Yeah, the fumes are there. You know, I'm surprised they're, a lot of Disney's vehicles, like the parking lot trams, those are all natural gas. Why haven't you switched to those? Why haven't you switched to electric, actually? If this is Tomorrowland,
yeah,
that's already here. I mean, but it is. I think it is still a quintessential, and I'm looking forward to the first time that my little man can take the wheel. I mean, it is definitely. But you know what? I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, Disneyland is
you get the little driver's license. They're probably not doing that anymore.
I think you can get that at both.
Oh, I guess I've never seen them. They do them at Disney World?
Yep.
Oh, I've never seen it.
No one's ever there, but just when you come down the stairs, I think it's just to the right, and you can get the driver's license.
Oh, never paid attention, I guess.
Usually it's because of the whiplash and you're holding.
And I'm high on the fumes. Yeah. Disoriented.
So.
I love how at Disneyland you get to go under the old People Mover track because it just really makes me sad every time because I just wish that they could redo it. But I do like that about the Disneyland one. Plus the track so much longer.
Yeah.
But bring back the People Mover.
Yes. There's probably a petition online somewhere that.
Right.
I'm sure there is.
All right, so let's move on to another. Actually, this is our last one here. Space Mountain.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So okay.
Hyperspace.
Again, this is they were there close to each other. So for Magic Kingdom in Disney World, it was in January of '75 that it opened. Disneyland was 2 years later at '77. Anyone want to take a guess on who has the top speed?
Ooh.
There is a difference.
I would say Disney World.
Okay. Is that your final answer?
I think it's Land.
You are correct with Land at a top speed of 32 miles an hour. Top speed of 28 miles an hour with Magic Kingdom and Disney World.
But what's funny is I personally think that World feels faster. It's because of those seats, those ride vehicles. It's one unit thing, so it's the jerkiness.
I agree there. Was exactly my next point is the jerkiness.
Right.
Disney World throws you around with it, but Disneyland's probably used to, but in 2005, they redid the track. So now you have a much smoother track. And, I was lucky enough to go one weekend to Disneyland. The next weekend, we went to Disney World.
Fancy.
It just worked out that way. We were invited to go to Disneyland. We went for a day trip, and we had already, I could tell you it was my lawyer that invited me, actually, so it gets even worse. So, yeah, exactly. When he says something, you probably should go, I guess. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But so I got to actually experience both of them, and it's a close call. But the ride vehicles in Disneyland, I said earlier that there was another ride that swapped those. You had in Disney with Splash Mountain, you had the one that had 2 and the one that had 1. Well, this is swap. Disneyland has the 2 with 3 rows, but the music, they have in-car audio.
Yeah.
So the overlays, and they do a lot of overlays there, you're more immersed.
Mm-hmm.
So I love Disney World and the fact that it jars you around, and the fact that I don't put up my arms because
No, because you'll lose your
I know
hand.
I'm gonna touch something. It just it freaks you out.
Yeah.
With Disneyland, now Disneyland actually has 1 track, whereas Disney World has 2. There is an Alpha and Omega side at Disney World. So it is it's a larger ride. They had 2 tracks. Does anybody remember the beginning of the rides? What the differences are there? Disneyland uses a lot of lights and whatnot. Disney World has the astronauts that you pass.
Oh, the
yeah.
astronaut.
Yeah.
Yep. So there are some differences there too. Whereas to me, Disneyland kind of gets you with all those lights. Yeah, it's a little bit of a rave. Yeah. But Disney World, it might be time to upgrade the astronauts. I don't know.
I like seeing them on the People Mover.
I love seeing them on the People Mover, and I love seeing the actual track lit up. I got to see it once. So, but with that being said, who did it better?
I think you're right. It's a close call.
This is
Really
close to me.
I think I'm going with World only because I think overall I have more fun with the jerking around than the audio.
All right, Kelly.
It's so close. I think I'll go World as well because I like the jerkiness.
All right.
Well. And I think it has more
Mermaid.
sudden death than Disneyland.
Oh, absolutely. And Mermaid Nina.
I like the bathrooms.
Hey, you know what? I have not done this whole time. I'm going to say it's a tie. I love both of them for so different reasons. So I'm going to have to go with a tie on that one. So,
have any of you done the Christmas overlay at World?
Yes.
Yeah.
I found that one to be really fun.
That is a ton of fun because of the lights.
Yeah.
And you realize just how close to everything you really are.
Yes.
Oh, is it lit up? Because I won't go on it because I can't do like dark roller. Like I can't do rock and roller coaster. I can't do it because So if it's lit up at Christmas, I would go on.
It's not completely lit up, but you get to see a lot more than you normally do, which means you get to see how close you really are to things.
Yeah. Yes.
And I loved it though. The Christmas overlay, if you get a chance to go. It's unbelievable to go to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. If they do it again this year.
Yeah.
There's of course rumors everywhere that may or may not be going. So all right, guys, with that being said, we have come to our 8 of them that we did on our list. So what we normally do here is what's coming up on your channel next. And we do appreciate everybody's dropping by. Again, I'm going to remind everybody that's watching, either if you're live or if you're watching this recorded, please subscribe to everybody's channel here. Everybody makes content and puts out a lot of good stuff. So please subscribe to it. Hit the like button. Nino, you got something?
Yeah, I just want to remind you that even after when this plays later, all of the links to all 4 of these channels are in the description. So if you don't want to type in everyone's names, it is down below.
All right. So with that being said, we'll go through a little bit of just to wrap up, what is coming up on your channel. So Sherry, we'll start with you. What's coming up here in your next couple releases?
I don't know which order they're going to go out in, but I have a Magic at Your Door unboxing. I have a Bibbidi Bobbidi Boxes unboxing. I have a Walt Life unboxing. And then I have Jamaica vlogs from our Negril and Ocho Rios adventures. So I don't know how they're going to release yet, but that's what I'm editing.
All right. Sounds great. Kelly, how about you?
I've got a few more of my Disneyland vlogs from my 2 trips ago, and then after that I'll be uploading my honeymoon vlogs from Disneyland and Disney World. I have a few hauls. I've got a Shop Disney haul, I've got my Disneyland and my Disney World haul, and yeah, so a few things coming up.
Well, congratulations on the honeymoon part, and that sounds great. Matt, how about you, sir?
Our next big thing is every Saturday we do a live stream on our channel, and this weekend we're continuing our series of Magic Madness tournaments. So it's like March Madness for the bracket, and this weekend we're doing Disney Princesses. So it should be quite a matchup of royalty. And yeah, I got some hauls coming up as well, and we just released our Bippity Boppity Box video today. So we got a bunch of other stuff like that coming up as well. So definitely check us out.
Well, great. Now, Nina, I know that you have a lot going on here in the next couple days that will remain just quiet, so certain people don't hear anything about it. Hey, mum's the word. Mum's the word.
I will announce my giveaway winner. Not this day, but a few days after. I plan on doing a Q&A outside of my hotel window because we are Savannah View, so the giraffes should be in the background. And I'm going to do a live Q&A and just discuss my personal feelings on going right now because I do have kids. I think there's a difference between going solo and going when you're bringing kids along, especially kids that are at an age where they want to touch and feel everything.
You mean my 1-year-old?
Yeah. At least you can kind of stick them in a stroller, maybe. Mine are so after past the stroller that there is no turning back. But my next few videos will not be that. They will be a few more unboxings, a pop unboxing, a pop in a box. I can't even remember. They're coming up 3 times a week. They'll be up there, but then eventually this will be up.
All right. Well, for my channel coming up, I just released on Monday our travel day vlog and traveling with a 1-year-old during a pandemic. And then I've got part 2 of that coming out next week. I generally release mine on Mondays. And after that, we are going to do a little bit of what has changed in the baby care centers. As I've said, my little man is 1-year-old, so we use the baby care centers a ton. He is no longer on mom's milk, so we don't use it quite as much, but being able to change him and have a spot to buy things like diaper cream, which we had to on this last trip, deodorant, because it was 95 with a heat index of 108 while we were there. But I've got some of the changes that they are seeing because of the reopening as well. So I've got those coming up. But again, we are going to say congratulations one more time to Mermaid Nina Travel for hitting that gigantic goal. And please, everyone, please hit that subscribe button for all of us because it really does matter to us. We are tiny channels. Well, not tiny. We are small channels, but we are trying to grow. And every one of you matter to us. So thank you guys so much. We will go around real quick. How do you guys always end your channel or your videos? Sherry, we'll start with you.
If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'd love for you to subscribe if you have not already. I post new videos every week. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
All right. And Matt?
Make sure to subscribe, hit that bell icon, and thanks for joining us. And until our next magical adventure, see you real soon.
Awesome.
Kelly.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you next time back in my kingdom. Bye.
Aw, that's cute.
And for me, we'll see you real soon. Mermaid Nina.
Well, just Again, I want to thank everyone for showing up tonight. I want to thank everyone who watched and chatted with us and did some comments. And I'm here with our quick tip of the week. I just want to remind everyone that we are wearing masks right now, but I think it's really helpful that you try on your mask and really get to know your mask before you do something like wear it at Disney all day long. We have been through several brands. We have tried them on. We have seen which pinch our ears, which ones are easy to wash, which ones we can see best out of. So that's my tip of the week, is just don't just buy the mask that's cute. Really make sure that it's comfortable for you. And how I end my channel, as always, is mahalo for watching, guys. Nina out. Bye, guys. Thanks again.
Bye.